Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm having a little technical difficulties this morning. Facebook was not being cooperative, so here we are. Good morning. We are live for Coffee Chat, and we will start our podcast, folks. Good morning to everybody. How are you? Happy Saturday of 4th of July weekend. How is everybody? I'm drinking iced coffee this morning. Liz, good morning. Hi, Emma. Tracy's here with us. Yay. Everybody, good morning. We will let everyone catch up with the fact that we are live and online. Good morning, Angela, Sarah. Hello, Angie. Nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. We are going to dive right in. First, if you caught Coffee Chat last Saturday morning, I addressed our change, our kind of pivot, Working Single Mom. Good morning, Sherry, Allison, Desiree. The Working Single Mom presents Revealing Leaders. Kind of explained that a little bit. Good morning, Carol. Jennifer, good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. We see you jumping in. Welcome. Welcome to Coffee Chat. So let's just address this again. The pivot. Good morning, Buffy. Thank you for joining us. Buffy joins us from California, so she wakes up really early to jump in and join us. Good morning, Shelly. We have Australia watching. Perfect. So, Working Single Mom has pivoted into Revealing Leaders, and we're introducing Revealing Leaders. We're generally sticking to the same content on our Facebook page, doing a little bit more about leading and kind of being motivated and inspirational in your own life and leading the way instead of just letting things happen to you. And the pivot is really because I want to start having more forward conversations with you folks. I want to talk more about where you are headed and the kind of life that you want to have versus where you might be stuck and the grievances and complaints that you might have because you're stuck in your life the way that it is now. So that's the purpose for the pivoting in the conversation. Also, my son is now 20. He's grown up. He lives, by himself in his own apartment. And I got married again at the end of 2019 after 18 years. So the Working Single Mom moniker just no longer feels totally authentic for me. It was a name that I designed for myself because that was kind of my public persona to do the work that I do out in the world. This is my give back, by the way. I have several real jobs. I'm the CEO of Delta Hire, which is a recruiting and development firm, workforce training development. We do all of that. And also Fortunato Partners, I founded and am the CEO of, and we are a digital marketing firm. So I have other things that I do. The Revealing Leaders brand and the Working Single Mom brand is my give back. And so that is the purpose of the pivot. I want to address, I saw some comments on some of the posts and things where people said, well, I'm not a leader, I'm a follower, and I'm a helper. And I want to just tell you, you are the leader of your own life. If you think that someone else is leading your life, you're, I venture to say, incorrect. You are a leader. You're a leader in your life. Now, whether you choose to lead anyone else but your children, that's up to you. So you may be a helper and a follower in your community, and you may be a helper and your follower at work. You are the leader of your own life. You really are. And if you're not looking at yourself that way, I think maybe you're missing something. And when we don't look at ourselves as the leader of our life, then maybe we think we can't change what's happening. And so that would also be incorrect. Because if you don't like the life that you have right now, and you want to get to a different life, you have to lead yourself there. Because who the hell else do you think is going to do it? You have to do it. You have to roll up your sleeves and dig in and admit that you are leading your life. And then own that and get to work. And that is really the purpose of the pivot in my conversations publicly with everyone. All right? So for the people that were making comments on different posts and things, saying that they're not a leader, they're a follower, they're a helper. Granted, that could be true in other areas of your life, and that's great because excellent helpers and excellent followers make excellent teams. So not everyone wants to get out in public and declare to the world that they're a leader and then like do the work to lead, right? Because really when you're a real public leader in your work and everything else, your job is then to pour into your people and make them better people, help them to be better people and help them to get to different places in their lives. So that's the real job of like a public leader, a corporate leader, a team leader. The job of that person is to pour into their team. Good morning, Laura. Hello. So in regards to you being a leader of your life, you are the leader of your life. And it's time that you started realizing that you are the leader of your own life, okay? You're the leader of your life, and if you don't like your life the way that it is, you have the power and the ability to change that. And that is where we're headed in our conversations in Coffee Chats for the future. We're going to really dig in and talk about how you lead yourself from where you are to where you want to be. So, along those lines, also let me just do a little commercial. Last week we talked about that we're going to start doing a leadership intensive. So often people ask me if I do personal coaching. I don't have a lot of time to do that anymore. So what we came up with is a leadership intensive, we're calling it. The first one is our inaugural effort, and we are going to really figure it all out and kind of mold the whole template in that one. And so some of our followers are tried and true folks. I know Laura has agreed to join us, and we've got Beth joining us, and Sherry's joining us, and Janet and Emmy, and we're only taking 7 people in this first one besides myself and Tracy, who will be leading. So it's very small. And yeah, okay, Angela's saying creepers are hitting her up. Listen, you guys, if creepers are hitting you up on this page or commenting on your stuff, please just block them. We block as many as we see and as many as we can. But as you know, this is a public page with over 1.3, almost 1.3 million followers. So I don't have total control over what people are saying. It is a public page. And when we go live, it makes a notice to everybody that follows the page. So if you have creepers bothering you, just block them, ban, and we will ban and block everyone that we see. That's the purpose of Tracy being on here with us every Saturday morning. And I ban and block as I see things scrolling by me. So little commercial for the creepers. Ignore them, ban, block. Don't friend people that you don't know. They're not associated with us, as you might imagine. Okay, so we are doing a leadership intensive. We are starting it in August. The way it's going to work is it's going to be 2 sessions a month with me live on a Zoom. And that Zoom's probably going to be an hour and a half long. And then we, in the middle of the month, are going to, so we'll have a session, and then there'll be a week with no session, and then there'll be a session, and then there'll be a week with no session. And we'll have a private Facebook group where everyone can interact with each other and talk to Tracy and I in real time and ask questions. You'll have access to me via text and via email. And we're going to keep these leadership intensives very small. The first one's only 7 people. The next one will only be 10 people. And we'll keep a waiting list, and we'll start one probably every month. And it is going to be a 6-month intensive that will get you from where you are in your life to where you want to go. And you shouldn't sign up for it or even be interested in it unless you really want to roll your sleeves up and get some real work done and hit it hard, because that's what's going to happen. So you'll have my full attention on you and my full help, as well as Tracy's. We've been, teaching and training for almost 30 years. So we're the real deal, and we're going to do real work with people, and we're going to keep these things very small, and they're not going to be, public. So they'll we're not even advertising it because we already have so many people asking us about it that we haven't even had to run an ad, and I don't think we'll probably have to. So if you are interested in the Leadership Intensive, we have a couple of spaces left for this first one. Buffy, I know you were interested, so let us know if you want to be a part of it, because we really do only have a couple of spots left. Okay, so let's talk about you leading your life. In order to have the life that you want, you need to let go of the life that you thought you had planned, because often the life that you plan, as you get going and as you kind of grow and learn and morph into a different person, you may recognize that what you had planned is not actually what's happening, and it may not even be what you want to have happen. You may have started to want different things. You see a different road for yourself. So if you had a plan, if you're one of those people that you make a plan and you think you have to stick to the plan, and no matter what you have to stick to the plan, you've got to be willing to let go of what you thought the plan was to allow for the life that's waiting for you. Because you can, in fact, have the life that you want. You can, in fact, create it to be any way that you want. And you do, in fact, have to do the work to make that happen. And that's, I think, where people get caught up, right? Is they don't want to do the work. Or they don't know what the work is to do. They're not sure what to do, so they don't do anything. And they procrastinate, and they get stagnant, and they stay stuck in their comfort level. So in order to grow, in order to move yourself from where you are to where you want to go, you've got to choose courage over comfort. You've got to be willing to choose wondering about something rather than what's always familiar. So you have to be willing to examine the unknown instead of just sticking with everything that you already know. And you need to be able to choose change over stability, right? Not that you would leave yourself in a terribly unstable position financially or anything like that, but you've got to be willing to jump a little. You've got to be willing to go forward. You have to be willing to walk some way into the unknown. So in order to have the life that you want, you have to give up being comfortable all the time, because staying stuck in being comfortable leads to complacency, leads to stagnation. If I am never pushing myself, if I'm never disciplining myself, if I'm never pushing myself to move ahead, then I'm not growing, nothing's changing, and it's all getting stagnant. It's like spring cleaning in your house, right? You've got to have times where you just clean everything out, get rid of what's not working, get rid of what's old, get rid of what's no longer serving you. You have to do that periodically in your home, in your car, in the closets and drawers in your house, with your wardrobe, and with the people around you. Because as you move, grow, and elevate, not everyone that you have known historically is going to move with you. And that doesn't mean that people in our lives that have been our friends for forever, it doesn't mean that we don't talk to them anymore. It just means that you recognize that the camaraderie that you may have had with someone back in high school or in college, perhaps you have moved yourself ahead and you want to elevate and learn new things and do new things. And this person perhaps is, just partying and drinking still, or watching television all the time, and they don't want to learn anything new, and they don't want any new conversation, and they don't want to be bothered by you suggesting new and interesting things. So recognize that life is progressive. You keep moving forward. That's the idea anyway, to keep moving forward, to keep moving ahead, to keep moving. And there are a lot of people that do not want to keep moving. They don't want to be uncomfortable. Change is good, and for some people, for all of us in some respects, change is uncomfortable. Some people do not like change. Some people shy away from change. They want everything to stay the same. They just want you to leave them alone. They want to stay in their little, bubble, and they want you not to bother them. So recognize that as you commit yourself to leading your own life and being the leader of your life. And as you step into that, as you declare it, as you start to look for where you can grow and have new opportunities and move ahead, not everyone in your life will be on board for that, okay? So don't be surprised. And don't be angry with people for where they are, because people are where they are. Everyone's different, and it's not your job to foist yourself and your opinion on anyone else, right? Don't be a foister. I love that word. Don't foist means to like throw something onto somebody else, right? So Rebecca's saying, oh no, that's me. I want to stay comfortable. Rebecca, you can start small. You can start to push yourself in little ways. I'm a rip off the Band-Aid type of person, right? My husband and my dear friends will tell you that. Like if something needs to be changed, I'm like a force of nature. Let's just do it, get it done. That's me. Not everybody has to be like that. You can change slowly. You can eke the Band-Aid off little by little. So you have to that's your first thing. You've got to know yourself and you've got to do what works for you. And so when you declare yourself the leader of your own life, which you are, this isn't like some gift I'm giving you. This is the truth. Who the F do you think leads you if not you? You lead your life. You do. So you decide what in my life is working, what's not working, what do I want to change? Where am I being comfortable? Where am I being complacent? Where am I just being like lazy or not pushing myself? Or, where can I develop myself, learn something new? Like those kinds of conversations to have with yourself. Remember that your attitude sets the tone for the people around you. So talking about leading your own life. So you're definitely the leader of your own life. And if you have children, you are also temporarily the leader of their lives. Okay? So everyone is at a different place. The way that our parents brought us up to accomplish things or produce results or do chores or communicate, whatever our parents taught us, like the kids now, it's different. The world is different. If you're as old as dirt like me, I'm going to be 53. If you're old, you were probably raised really old school. And we didn't get choices. It was like, you're going to do this, and that's it. And I'm going to beat the crap out of you unless you do it. So that was the motivation when I was growing up. It's different now. And kids have a lot more exposure to technology, and there's a lot of other different things, pouring into their lives and influencing them. So the first thing to do as a leader overall, as a leader of your own life and as a leader of your children's lives, temporarily until they're grown, you've got to learn to listen. You've got to learn to listen to yourself. And you have to learn to listen to the littles and hear. So like when your intuition's telling you something, when your body is telling you something about you, like you already have a lot of the answers that you require. You are just not listening. Like let's just put watching TV as an example. If you always have the TV on, if you get up in the morning and you put on the news or Good Day America or whatever the hell, and you're watching that, and then when you come home, you turn it back on. And when do you have time to listen to yourself? When do you have time to listen to like your inner voice or your intuitive voice or anything? If you're not, we talk about a lot that time at the beginning of the day for yourself when you reset. And we're going to talk about that again in this new context of talking to you about being a leader of your own life. But when you don't set aside that time for yourself to listen to yourself, then you don't lead yourself effectively throughout the day, okay? And Freya is saying she doesn't listen to her intuition. And I would caution you, your gut knows things. We all have inner intuition. Some of us aren't listening. Some of us listen better than others. Listen to yourself. You will learn what you need to do if you listen. Listen to your littles when they're talking to you. Don't foist your already knowing what they're going to say, or already knowing what they need to do, or already knowing the answer. When your little people are talking to you, listen. If you don't listen to them, they will stop talking to you and they will internalize things, and then they may go and do things that don't need to happen if you just took the time to listen. As a leader, it's our job to listen. It's not our job to foist things on other people. It's our job to listen and hear and then respond, not react. Okay? We have another person, Melissa, saying she does not listen to her gut in relationships lately. Relationships is a big one. Pay attention to red flags. That's all I'm going to say. Pay attention to red flags with everything, you guys. With work stuff, with like stuff about your kids, with stuff about relationships. Pay attention. Your intuition deserves far more credit than you're probably giving it. Remember that you take your most familiar relationships for granted. So lots of times we are not listening to ourselves, to our littles, and to the people closest to us. And in order to lead effectively, even just leading ourselves in our own lives and leading the littles, we've got to listen. You've got to listen. Your attitude is what sets the tone for you and for the people in your life, okay? Your attitude is everything. Your attitude will make or break you. And the words that you speak, the same thing. We'll talk more about that next week, about words and the power of your own thoughts and feelings and all of that. So I would encourage you to do a couple of things this weekend, and from now until you join us next Saturday morning. I would encourage you to really see yourself as the leader of your life, because in fact you are. This is not something that I made up to make you uncomfortable. This is actually a fact. You are leading your life because nobody else is going to do it. And the sooner that you see yourself as the leader of your life, then you'll understand that you have the power to change anything that you don't like. Anything that you find unsatisfactory in your life, you have the ability to change that. And we're going to talk further as in weeks to come about the tools and the ways to make that happen. So, where do you need to adjust? And that's really what I want you to think about over the next week. Like, grab a notebook, grab a piece of paper, whatever, and think about where are your 3 top areas for growth. So given that we're looking at you being a leader of your life, being the leader of your life, and given that you have the power to get yourself from where you are to where you want to go, and given that your attitude sets the tone for everything in your life, where do you think your top 3 areas are to grow? Where do you think are the top 3 areas that you need to work on? And that's what I want you to write down, your top 3 areas for growth. Because until you can quantify those and write them down, like, you don't have a chance to even make any movement in those areas if you don't even know what they are. We can't move you from point A to point B if you don't even know where you need, what area you want to work on. Like, if you just say, oh, I want to change my life, like, that's nice. Okay, good. What areas do you want to change? Where do you want to see movement? Where do you want to see change? Now we're going to get real. We're going to pick the areas. Then we're going to start asking, okay, what in those areas do you want to change? What is not working? What is working? For now, just pick those 3 areas. All right. That's my point for this morning. You are the leader of your own life. Whether you want to agree with me or not, I don't care. Because if you think someone else is leading your life, okay, I feel kind of sorry for you, because then you've given all the power of your life to someone else. The truth is, you are leading your life. You are a leader. As I said at the beginning of this coffee chat. You may not be a public leader like at work or in your community, and that's fine. However, in your own life, you are a leader. You are the leader of your life. Period. You don't like something, you have the power to change it. The power rests with you. Okay, so since we are changing swag into lead swag, which will be up and coming because we give stuff away, as you know, on coffee chat shows. And we've got lots of Make It Magnificent stuff to give away. So the first 3 people to email me, Tracy, will you drop my email address in here? So look in the comments, you guys. Tracy's going to drop my email address. It's also available in the About section of the page. The first 3 people to email me your top 3 areas for growth, we will send you a swag bag. We will send you a swag package, which is like a t-shirt and a mouse pad and a keychain and one of my books, like that. All right? So the first 3 people to email me and tell me what your top 3 areas of growth are right now in your life, we'll send you some swag. Okay, if you are interested in the Leadership Intensive that we are going to start doing, email me as well, and we can talk about it. We can give you the details and the pricing and all of that. We have a couple of spaces left for this first one that we're going to do. We are discounting the price of the first one by half because that is going to be sort of our incubator to work on the format that we're going to bring out for the future. Mona, Tracy just dropped my email address below, noelle@fortunatopartners.com. It's in the About section of the Facebook page also. And it is also, you can find it on the site, theworkingsinglemom.com. Buffy, if you're in, let me know because I don't have you on my list. I see you're saying you're so excited. So I don't know if you're excited about swag or if you're excited about the Leadership Intensive. But if you want in, let me know because you're not on my list. Okay. That's it. We are in the middle of building a new site called revealingleaders.com, so that'll be coming. And don't worry because you'll type in theworkingsinglemom.com and it will bring you over to the new site, and you won't have to worry about remembering that that we shifted things around. Okay, so first 3 people to email me your top 3 areas for growth, and if anyone's interested in the Leadership Intensive, let us know. This first one, like I said, is going to be half off our normal price for the 6-month intensive. And I guarantee you that you will make movement. All right? Okay, it's 4th of July weekend. Don't drink and drive. Stay safe. Keep an eye on your kiddos. Don't be overzealous being around people. Be careful. Be safe. Have a fantastic Independence Day, and we will see you next Saturday morning. We'll say goodbye to our podcast folks and Facebook fam. We'll see you Saturday morning. Take care. Have a great weekend.